Hey, if I was a wrestler, I would bring a lot of that into the bedroom. You do that?
I mean, 100%. I'm
Damn.
pile driving.
Pile driver. Shit.
She's
Alex in
yelling.
the back. Yeah. She's like, shut up.
I don't know if she's yelling at you or agreeing.
Yes.
The Toy Time Machine Radio Show. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Toy Time Machine Radio Show. This marks our 5th episode. I can't believe we're still on the air. Like I said, the past couple of weeks, I thought I'd be canceled. Not the case. Still going strong. Well, I'd love to introduce our first 2 guests. These are mega stars all the way from AEW, living in Florida. We've got the Green Machine, Mike Orlando, my pen pal, and his wife, Allie Recks. Allie, I got to apologize. You're not in our all-man group. I'm sorry about that. We got a little toy group, and I'd love to bring you in, but my girlfriend would, she'd have me by the nuts if I had another girl in a private group. She needs to see everything, you know?
Oh, I don't blame her. I get it. I still her.
So no girls allowed. It's the He-Man Woman Haters Club.
There's going to be no place for games. Now scram!
You know? But it's nice to finally get to chat with you. So very cool to have you on the show.
Go.
Welcome to the show. Holy cow.
Finally.
Some of her, but yeah, finally, my pen pal.
Jesus, man. My best friends I've never met.
I know. It's cool to have you on the show. Allie, hello. I hear you're cooking.
Hi, I am. I'm meal prepping for the week. You know, wife duties.
That's nice. That's nice.
It sure is.
The wrestling promotion you're currently with?
Kind of ourselves. I mean, we got our foot in both doors right now. Really, we kind of have our feet in every pond right now.
It's nice to multitask, I think, and have your hand in different pots. Nothing wrong with that.
With everything going on in the world right now, man, you had to jump.
You have to. Yeah. Like me, I have my side hustle. I have my job. I sell cars, and I got my side hustle, pushing toys. And I got the conventions. I got a bunch of stuff going on, right? Always something going on.
Oh, I get it, dude.
You get it.
I sell on eBay. I still flip things left and right over.
Yeah, you've got Spirit Halloween. You got that stuff going on, right? So.
Right. We didn't do it this year, honestly, but we think I think I'm gonna end up back in there somehow in the next couple of weeks.
I'm gonna bring in Donnie. Donnie is our buddy here.
I'm watching football. Leave me alone.
Okay, bye.
Hey, how's it going?
So it looks like everybody's multitasking.
Fake stuff called football.
That's it.
Football.
Now we met through the hobby, through toy collecting there, Mike. And Allie. We met through our passion for collectibles, and you've got quite the collection.
Oh my God, dude. We're getting there, but at the same time we just moved, and this has been the biggest pain in the ass setting back everything up in this house. It's awesome because it's fun, but like who has time to do that, you know?
How long have we've been buddies there, pen pals for a few years now?
Since I moved to Florida. You guys I got hurt when I moved here for another company that, is what it is. But anyway, moved here for them, and then I got hurt, and I was watching you guys on YouTube because I was a big toy collector and was like, this $20 challenge and everything you guys were doing was so fucking cool. And like, we started doing it because that was like our hobbies, and it's like, we blatantly stole it from you.
Man.
We did it out of love, though. It was like, hey, like, this is awesome. We really like that. And that's kind of what kept me going after I got hurt. And that's how we linked up. And it's pretty cool.
Well, that's cool, man. I like the fact that I was part of your healing process. And Allie, you got hurt too, right? Around the same time?
Mine was like about a year and a half later. So I did get to fully recover Mike first. Thank God. Because if we were both down at the same time, that probably would have affected us a lot differently than how we are now. So I'm grateful that my injury was after he was fully recovered. So like I held the reins for a little while. I did what I could while he was out, and then I was out for over a year, and he completely came back, took the reins. So it was cool. It was like reversed roles. Like we picked each other up within the last like 2 years or so. So it's been cool, honestly, as much as it sucked. it's been cool.
Well, I'm glad that you both are back to full health. And with that full health came some amazing things. You both hit the jackpot, really. You guys are working with one of the best promotions out there in wrestling, AEW. So cool, I got to tell you. And Allie, you are the first woman to ever be on the Toy Time Machine radio show. So thank you for having that dubious honor.
Thank you.
I told myself I'll keep the cussing to a minimum tonight because there's a lady in the house. You know?
Brother,
Oh, we
she
are
lives
from
in
New
me, dude.
Jersey. Like,
Oh, well, then.
From New Jersey. Got nothing.
Holy shit. Hey, have you ever been to the Secret Stash?
That's my comic shop. That's where I grew up in New Jersey. That's my first-hand comic shop.
I just watched Clerks 3 last night. Pretty good.
Dude, I'm dying to see it, and I'm dying to see everything they're doing with it. But I just kind of know it's without even seeing it, it's gonna tell me I'm old, right?
Yeah, it is. There's
watch it because I remember being a little ass kid, and I used to wait for that dude left and right to buy comics, and then one day he had sent a text message to my fucking Virgin mobile phone in high school, and this is a true story. And he was like, "Hey, don't come until 7 tonight." And then I got there, and Jay and Silent Bob were there, and it was the coolest moment of being a high schooler in my life because I waited 4 years ago to that comic shop to finally run into them.
Yo, baby, you've had your asshole licked by a fat man in an overcoat?
Wow, that's super cool.
Really, really cool.
We have a celebrity from our city. I'm from Ottawa, so the biggest celebrity to come out of Ottawa is Tom Green. And he had a local TV show and just community television, kind of like Wayne's World type thing, right? And he was doing the Tom Green show at the time. And at our high school, right across the street, there was this chip truck, and he was on top of it doing a skit. And I thought that was the coolest because I was watching a show at the time in the early beginnings before it even hit MTV.
Hey, speaking of Tom Green,
it's kind of the same thing.
Tom Cruise was in Ottawa, lived in Ottawa.
Tom Cruise, yeah. His dad, his family's military, so he spent summer. He spent a year here and went to Henry Monroe Middle School, my old middle school. Very cool. I sat in his desk.
He's got a house in the water right by us here in Florida.
Wow, we're so connected a lot more than you think.
Say that again, Mike.
He's got a house right here in Florida, Tom Cruise, right by us, right on the water. It's beautiful.
Nice. You ever seen him jet skiing or whatever?
But we take all these little boat tours with our friends and stuff. That's Tom Cruise's house. And it's guess what? That chair has been there for the last 6 months and hasn't moved. I wish I had a house that I could do that at.
Yeah, how much could I get a boathouse for?
Oh, it's a fortune right now, man. It's a fortune right now out here. It was a couple of years ago super cheap when we moved. Now it's through the roof.
Wait, you have a boathouse?
No. We just happened. We rent a townhouse by the water, but we're right by these guys. I guess you could say we're it's not too far from us. It's 10 minutes or so.
No, I mean a boathouse where you could live in a house and go drive on the water.
That's expensive.
Oh, that's way too much money. Yeah, that's crazy. You're talking $1 million right now.
It went up
no.
COVID.
More than a house in Florida on the water?
You talking about a boathouse in Florida, you're saying?
Yeah.
A normal house in Florida is going to cost you $4 or $5 right now. A boathouse is going to cost you $1 million. Easy.
Shit. Okay.
$500,000 with crocodiles and $1 million without.
The Toy Time Machine Radio Show.
Hi there, Lance from the Toy Time Machine. I just wanted to give a big shout out and a big congratulations to our friend Josh from Wrestling Figures Montreal. You've been doing this for 5 years, running this organization, this page, this program, and honestly, one of the best communities I've seen on Facebook. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for bringing the best every day and continue whatever you're doing. You're doing amazing, and I cannot wait to see what the future brings. And I also want to thank you personally for always being an ambassador and a friend for any of the things that I have going on. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. All the best, Josh. Take care.
Now, the questions here, guys, are going to get a lot tougher because we've got our wrestling fanatic just coming into the chat. His name is Josh, and he runs a Facebook group called Wrestling Figures Montreal. Josh, hello. He's a big fan. Big fan, by the way.
Hi, everyone.
What's
Hey,
up?
how's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. You're just coming in. You had some plans there tonight, so I'm happy you made it. And we've got Mike Orlando, the Green Machine, and we've got Allie Recks in the house tonight. So I told him, I said, we're going to bust their balls and we're going to ask them some tough questions. And he said, don't worry, I'm having a few drinks, so don't hold back. But he's a big guy, so I don't fucking want to mess around too much because he knows the city I live in now.
That's
He's like 2,000 miles away. What's he gonna do? You're fine.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, Mike?
11 years of doing this, we got enough flight credits to handle shit if we have to. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Guys, there's three of us, and three of us make one of him. Okay, all right.
yeah, we're still fucked.
Yeah, we're still fucked.
So let me just play my dolls.
They're action figures.
My bad. Turbo Man.
Yeah. So you've been watching the AEW. You're catching it weekly, but haven't been watching too much of the dark. So, Mike, can you sum it up what the AEW dark is versus the Dynamite?
Yeah, for sure. So dark is like your opportunity. You're given a certain amount of, let's say, chances to show you could do something, and that doesn't necessarily mean like a wrestling move. It means like a chance. So if you're out there to make XYZ look good, you better make XYZ look good, or you're not coming back again. So it's a process to get to that point. Being on Dynamite doesn't necessarily mean like you're going to be the star, but it means you're progressing out of the dark category. So that's not a bad category to be in per se, because there's a lot of people in here that are looking for chances, and unfortunately, a lot of these guys and girls you see don't get a second chance to come again. So the more and more that we're there, the more and more we're positive that bigger things are coming. But you have to realize, like, the NFL has, I think, 34 teams and 100 people plus per team. Like AEW, WWE, we have like 150, 200 people tops. So you can't keep everybody there and keep active like you can in these pro sports. So that being said, the more and more you're on dark, a lot of people are like, oh, that sucks, you're just on dark. Like, no. We're looking for whatever storyline pops up to fit our category to be that person. The difference is mostly is when you're on Dynamite, the story fits you. When you're on dark, you're trying to fight for the story.
Oh, I like it. Now, we had at our convention, we run a convention in the city called Fanaticon.
Yeah.
And our guest was Evil Uno. And he's been on dark a long time. And I think he's now on the other shows, right? The other programming. So
he's been on every.
He's not there all the time, right? But
I've ran into him a bunch, but I knew him from back in the C4 days. So like,
okay, yeah. You've done C4.
Yeah. That was back when. That was one of my.
Wow, you came to Ottawa.
We did C4 and we did Torture Chamber Wrestling.
With Drew Onyx,
Yeah, we did that, and then UCW or UWC, one of those letters. It was Nova Scotia, that one though. Ran by Marcus Burke, I believe.
Wow.
But but like that's I've known him from those days, so it's really cool to see him doing this kind of thing now because he's killing it and doing really, really well. But I believe he's full-time on Dynamite now because the Dark Order is starting to get a second push again.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. They've got the whole the most recent AEW action figures.
Evil Uno is actually one of the best sellers in that set. I mean, because it's so toyetic of a figure with the mask and the body mold being so different. You know, it's one of the ones I see least on the shelf of the AEW ones.
And like, I agree with you entirely. Like being a nerd, man. Like, honest to God, like remember being a kid and like when they would change the arms on like Ruthless Aggression figures and stuff. Like I was the first person to line up and go buy that figure because it was something different. When I look at an Evil Uno, there's so many people that can question him and how is he in the position he is. You just said it. He's toyetic. And like that's somebody you look on the shelf you're going to buy as a kid, and like that is wrestling to me. So like he had to have a unique mold made for him to make a wrestling figure. Like amen to that. I think that's cool as hell. You know, like it doesn't matter what that mold was. They made a unique mold because they know they're going to make money off of that. toyetic. So it's like when Batman Forever was made, that director was said to be told to sell as many action figures as he possibly could with a Batman movie. So he made a Batman movie, very toyetic. And at 31 years old, I still watch back and like see that stuff, and I get it. And I feel like today's kids look at pro wrestling and they see a lot of heroes, they see a lot of this, But I still remember the Hurricane when I was a kid.
Yo, come on, he's my guilty pleasure.
Yeah, it's still great. Yeah.
You know what's funny too is Shane Helms, and if you Google this, I'm sure you guys already know, but if you Google Shane Helms, he's a tough son of a bitch. Okay, and he's gotten a lot of fights backstage, and he's won every single one of them. So people can make fun of the comic book nerd all they want. Just Google Shane Helms and some of the altercations he's had backstage.
Yeah,
I will.
It's not the size of the dog in the fight; it's the size of the fight.
100%. Right? The Rock just tweeted at him the other day asking for a tag team match against him in his current.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You know,
who could ever forget the Rock has a loss to the Hurricane?
Yeah, but you know what that means? Like for the Rock, who's a superstar at that time, to be like, you know what? Yeah, I want to put this guy. Like, holy shit! Like that's awesome. So like as a kid, I definitely stole as an adult half the shit as a kid that I watched from him. Like if you look at my wrestling gear, I'm literally a walking Hurricane that doesn't want to be fucking corny. And that's, I don't mean he was corny, and I don't mean that like that. I just mean, how do I take what he did and evolve? How did Bray Wyatt take the fucking Undertaker and try to evolve with it? So like, I look at this superhero thing and it's like, okay, that's what I always wanted to be. I'm a comic book nerd. I'm this, but I'm 6'5", 300 pounds. So maybe I could be a little bit more serious. So I've watched tons, and I've been coached by him tons too. I've been lucky enough. So like my best friend in wrestling is Shannon Moore. So Shannon is so close to him. So getting some advice little by little, I would say, because I don't get that much experience talking to him, taught me how to differentiate the tough guy shit from the superhero stuff. And he did that later in his career with the whole Gregory Helms thing. And like, if you could do everything in wrestling, you're going to get a job. You know, if you could play the superhero, you could play the villain, you could do all. That's what we're all paying attention to at the end of the day. It's not really
exactly as they say in acting, because like I used to do a lot of acting in theater and stuff, and it's the triple threat. Like we used to say, like if you could dance, sing, and act, I mean, like you're great. You know.
Yep.
If you got one of the three, you're good. But like if you could do all three, it's like in wrestling. You got the mic skills, the look, the in-ring capabilities. Like you're the triple threat right there. You know.
Thank God it's showing more than ever, I think, in wrestling nowadays. You got MJF going off on AEW. You got WWE competing in the most crazy of ways recently. It's interesting. I really do like it.
Yeah, it's a good time.
It's a great time to be a fan. It's a great time to be in the business for the first time, I think, in 15, 20 years, right? Let's go. Let's rewind a little bit here. Like, how did you become a wrestler? How did that happen?
So
what inspired you? What's your story?
So mine was I was a football player my entire career, and I went to football player, and it was paid for, but I never watched football my entire life. Never paid attention to football. Didn't know anything. I just knew what my coaches told me to do, what my job was, and I just did it. And I was called very coachable, to call it that. So when I got to college, I always wanted to be a pro wrestler. And like, I used to run to the field with like a heavyweight championship belt that I had custom made for my college and everything.
Love
like that. And I was the mega mark. I was the ultimate mark you could possibly be. And I also was a goody two shoes growing up. So when I got to college, I had a little bit more freedom than I ever had in my life. So I didn't really know how to handle being a football captain and everything, and going to these parties and waking up for practice in the morning and going to school all day. But I tried my best, but I never experienced it. So I had a bad week one day, and I showed up to practice at 5:50, and I was supposed to be there at 5:00, and my coach kicked me out and was like, "Go home. Like, we don't need you." So I cut this whole wrestling promo on him and was like, "Okay, whatever." And I went back to my classes and thought the next day I would show up. So when I showed up the next day, my coach had a bunch of paperwork in his hand, and he directed me to the nearest wrestling school and told me I wasn't a football player, to get the hell out and go be a wrestler. And I took him very seriously and was kind of throwing in his face, and took all the information. I went to go wrestle, and that was at the Monster Factory, which at the time was ran by Larry Sharp, and he was going with this guy named Ed Atlas at the time, and they were opening up their own place, different than the Monster Factory now. And I got there and found out that I had to sweep the floor for like 2 hours before I could even step in the ring. And it was very humbling, and I was very aggravated that I just drove 2 hours there, but was like, okay, I have to show him. And after sweeping, he was just like, okay, well, I already spoke to your coach who sent you here. So if you want to be a wrestler, he already paid this thing off for you. So he'll pay for it, but you're going to be here every single day he says to be here, between the times he says to be here, and you'll still be at every football practice possible for college. So he got the most use out of me by making me train to be a pro wrestler, because I would be a better football player, which I hated at the time because I had no money to pay for wrestling training, and he would pay for it. So my days would just be football all day, school all day, and then I would go drive 2 hours away from my school, wrestle all night, and then come back in the morning for 5 a.m. practice, maybe getting an hour of sleep, if that, on the way. And that's how I got started. And then my wife, on the other hand, was already training at this point at Gino Caruso's school in ECPW. And I started getting a little bit of a reputation in New Jersey where people trusted me. So they started asking me to come to their school and start, coaching up and helping out. And I had met her through that school because I started coaching her and actually teaching her how to wrestle. We're friends for, I don't know, babe, 7 years, 8 years.
Now,
yeah, it was like 2-3 years before we ever dated. And like, we just helped each other and coached each other up and split bills and split road bills together and everything. And the last person I thought I'd end up marrying was her, because we were just like dudes, like we were wrestlers. And then all of a sudden one day it was just like, whoa, I don't know what happened here, but we're together and everything's working out.
Yeah, how does that happen? How do you go from doing that to hooking up with a bro,
Yeah, kind of hard times. It was like I at the time, so like, shoot be told, I had like some WWE stuff happening at the time with an ex-girlfriend that half of her knip shit was bullshit, to really put it lightly. And they were like, okay, rebrand yourself and figure things out. And as a kid, I was maybe 23 at the time. I was like, okay, get out of the house. I'm done with you. Move out. And she moved out. What I didn't think of was like, I'm an independent wrestler. How do I pay for this house now over my head? So I had to figure out a way. So I invited my best friend at the time. I was like, hey, you want to move out of your parents' house and help me split the bills here? And we could just do whatever we want, have a college house type thing. That's how we started it. And then all of a sudden she moved in here, and it went from a college house, party house idea to now we're married a couple years later.
That's awesome.
How long have you been together for? It's
7 years now total.
7 years. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Married for almost 1 now next month.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that. I saw the proposal. I've been following the whole story all during COVID.
Yeah, we were nuts. That was everything else folded in front of us, so we had to make some good out of everything.
Yeah,
COVID either made or broke relationships.
Agreed entirely. You found out,
like, you're stuck together for like a few years in the house, and if you could last that long, it's meant to be.
Yep, agreed. We also, like, we stupidly moved to Florida and opened up a gym and a wrestling school. So like, everything I had in the savings, professional football career, from everything I had spent for this gym. And then all of a sudden this pandemic happens and they shut gyms down completely. And we lost, like, I think 9 months of rent that I had to pay back at full price later on, with the gyms being closed. So like, when the year started, we were at like a negative 15 grand to start. And it was like, okay, wow, holy fuck. Like, okay, this is going to really take a lot from both of us right now. But at the same time, it got us out of the gym industry, thank God. And now we focus just on wrestling, and she has a good job, and she's like like we were talking about earlier, like a chiropractor assistant, and she's loving it. But it took us getting a big kick in the ass to go back to wrestling full time. But that's what COVID did to everybody. It made you think twice about everything.
Allie.
Yes.
Now, you're wrestling at sort of the best time for a lady to be wrestling, because for a long time it's been a man's world. So you're in sort of like a man's world, right?
Oh no, 100%. But
100%.
Definitely turning around within the last like 3-4 years.
Yeah. Do you think it's a lot of the competition? Do you think it's the vast amount of promotions out there? What is it? Why have women been taking a lot of the front lead? Is it a lot of the new wrestlers in WWF? Your opinion?
I guess I would say the various platforms right now. You not only have like women being taken a lot more seriously on TV, more like athletes instead of divas, but there's a lot of independent scenes going on right now where it's just focusing straight on women. I wrestle for a women's wrestling army out in Chicago, Illinois. That's ran by Maria Kanellis Bennett. And she totally focuses on the women entirely. And that entire promotion is just amazing. And that's one of them out of honestly going on right now. You have Mission Pro Wrestling, I believe, in Texas. That's ran by Thunder Rosa. That's always about a lot of women's wrestling, stuff like that. So, like, I don't know. That's just 2 out of so many different promotions that give us our own shows and our own main events and all of that. So, yeah, it's definitely a cool time to be a women's wrestler compared to growing up.
Yeah, like growing up, it was bra and panty matches. Now it's like it's women kicking ass.
Yeah, I love it. I'm here for it. So I'm going to keep going with that. I'm going to run with it as long as they keep giving it to us because these women are hardworking. They work just as hard as the men. I know I do. I face the same kind of injuries Mike has. I've been through the same kind of things Mike has, and I'm half the size. So, like, just get
you guys hitting the mat, you guys getting slammed, elbowed, kicked, whatever. That is just as painful on, for a dude.
Because I am about 110 pounds soaking wet, and I have not very much body fat on me. So when I take a bump, it definitely hurts a lot more for me to take it than for, say, Mike, who's almost 300 pounds and built like a freaking monster truck.
So I'm going to intervene real quick, too, and let you guys know. So this past weekend, we had a show, and the ring was a little stiff or whatever it may have been. And I threw an enziguri. That's all I did in my match, and I broke 2 ribs as I landed on the mat. So
dude,
I was in the most amount of pain you can imagine because that's, like, horrible. Okay. She had, I wouldn't call it a botch because the normal eye wouldn't realize what happened, but she gave a code breaker and she didn't land flat on her shoulders. She landed on her spine, on her tailbone, on the bottom. And she in the exact same spot of the ring that I had just broken my ribs in. Okay.
So did you Marilyn Manson yourself after that, or what? What happens? No. I could suck my own dick now. I look at the positive there, Mike.
No, dude, I'm like worried about her because like she's like walking through the house and like
like
falling, and she's like, "Oh, I'm good."
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, so Allie, you got a job at a chiropractor's office, right? So
they won't.
Did you get the job there just to get the free work?
Not necessarily. I just thought it'd be something that would benefit me and that I would, like enjoy doing. But it does help. Except they won't touch me this week because they're afraid my back's gonna lock out. Apparently, I have severe lower lumbar sprain, but it's not the end of the world. Like, I will be fine. I just got to take it easy. So I'm not lifting this week and stuff. But I'm off of wrestling this weekend. And then we're going to New Jersey, and we're turning it up in about 2 weeks.
Literally in about 2 weeks.
I'll be good.
Broken ribs, sprained back. It's just, that's our job, though. Yeah.
Wow. Well, there's a dentist in AEW. You could be the neck breaker. Chiropractor.
The Chiro. Allie Recks.
Chiro. Yeah, I like it.
Hey, listen, if it gets us a job, I'll do it.
Hey, after this interview, I'm going to go break some ribs, just so you know.
No, don't do it, dude. It hurts, man. It hurts.
Yeah, I know, but I'm thinking about all the fun I can have.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That is true. That is
pain for pleasure.
Pain for pleasure, yeah.
That is kind of true. It is fun.
Oh, man.
Nothing like coughing and just like screaming at the same time.
So your ribs are broken right now?
2 of them, yeah.
That's fucked, dude.
Yeah.
So what happened? Okay, so you're out of wrestling for the next 6 weeks or something, or what?
I can't. I have too many bookings coming up. I'm just gonna have to fucking cover it and do what I can around it.
You'll have your I guess I guess people will protect you, right? So
yeah. For the most part, it's just any bump I take is gonna hurt.
That, and he's lucky that he's a big guy. Nobody can knock him over, so he just has to stand there and be a tank, and he'll be fine.
That's right.
Yeah,
I like it. You are the tank, the green tank.
Green tank.
So I'm going to C4 tomorrow. I'm gonna go to the wrestling show tomorrow.
Is that still ran by Mark?
Yeah, man. Like the guy's been there. He's a fixture in the city now.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. He's such a nice guy too. Like he really.
Yeah. Anytime I've talked to him, genuinely a nice guy, and his team. Really nice guys. The photographer always somehow compliments me on my t-shirt every time I go. His mouthpiece, the commentator, Dr. Bob, nice guy. He runs a toy show here in the city, and I know Josh he's driven from Montreal just to come to that show. Yeah, Dr. Bob, nice guy. His front end guy, nice guy. Mark messages me with front row seats every time now, and he says, I got the front row seats. Do you want them? I have to pay every time, but at least he offers me the front row, because I told him I won't go if it's not front row. I gotta have front row. So I'm spoiled now,
No, dude, honestly, that's awesome. It's an awesome connection.
So we're going tomorrow, and every time it's so much fun.
C4 Wrestling in Ottawa, and we're watching right now in the ring Evil Uno.
Go Uno!
Sexy Uno. Is that your first time at these shows?
No, it's not.
Tonight.
There he comes.
Evil Uno's coming out. He's going to throw a hat. He's right in front of us. He's wearing 7 hats.
This shit is amazing. I absolutely love it. I've become a wrestling fan just watching all of this. I absolutely love it. I can't get enough. I love it.
It's a lot of fun. We came to the first show, your first show. Was it like about a year and a half ago? Right?
It was about a year and a half ago, and I absolutely loved it then, and I absolutely love it now. And you know what?
Listen up. Evil is flexing right now.
You see it in person, and you see these people doing the stunts, and you see it in a live person. It is absolutely amazing. It is like mind-blowing. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. I've never been into wrestling in my entire life, but I cannot get enough of this. It's one of the most intense shows I've ever seen. It just blows my mind. It's so much fun. It's so on edge. It's so crazy and fun. Ah! They almost jumped at us on the stage.
If you never hit up C4 Live, you got it. The tickets are very affordable, anywhere from $10 to $45. We're in the VIPs, $45. You got to get down here, check it out. In Ottawa, they do it about once a month.
Bring your girlfriends, bring your whatever. You don't think you can, but you can, because it is. It's amazing.
What do you think? It's hot guys in tights, right?
It really is.
Hey, watch your time.
Toys, comics, games, and entertainment. The Toy Time Machine Radio Show.
And there's an up and comer. His name is Junior Benito. He's the guy is a gymnast, and he's a high flyer, and he's a teacher at my daughter's gym. She went to like some daycare there, and he was a coach there. Crazy. Small world, you know?
It really is. It really is. But that's awesome, though. Dude. He's grinding, man. That's what it means.
Well, he's wrestling, and I'm like, I thought this guy works at my kid's school. So it was cool. It's cool. So yeah, definitely a grind.
like reject that. I used to be a high school coach and a football coach and a high school teacher, excuse me. And as soon as they found out I was a wrestler, I basically had to leave ASAP.
Oh, that sucks, huh?
The job sucked, and I was leaving anyway. It was just a nice experience in my life. But I mean, it's just as soon as they found out, they were like, how are you going to teach psychology when you're doing this? And it's like, yeah, sorry, I don't know.
Are you still running the wrestling school, or did that just sort of fizzle out after COVID?
COVID kicked our ass with that a little bit. But I would say for the most part, thank God it's not my school anymore, but Cody Barringer is a professional wrestler that essentially took the reins, and he now calls it Kingdom of Wrestling, I believe, right? Yeah. He now calls it Kingdom of Wrestling, and he runs the same students, the same everything we had. And he's just doing it on his own dime and his own promotion, which I fully support and very happy for. Because we did have a good amount of people that really wanted it and wanted to be better. But with COVID and everything, when we owed years of rent, like at one time, it was more money than our wedding cost us.
That sucks, man.
Yeah. And like in Florida, it was super unforgiving. And it was like, okay, so I have to shut the doors like now because I can't even pay the bill next month. So he took everything over, and I would say I still help run it because I show up and I don't ask for $1. I never will take $1. I never will make a profit off of it ever. I never did, and I never want to, nor will my wife. But we do show up and still help out for free and help the guys and train with them and just let him run everything on his dime.
Now, Josh is an amazing artist. He customizes Hasbros into like movie characters, and he does so much cool stuff. I don't know if you have any nearby that you can show, but you got to see this, Mike. This shit is so dope.
Interrupt you real quick, and maybe I'm crazy, but Josh, did you used to go on a wrestling site called WrestlingFigs.com?
I did. Yes, I was a part of the forums, but I didn't really post anything. I just followed
forums, right? But yeah. I remember seeing you used to put your hashtags and a lot of customs of things you did on the bottom, right?
I don't think so. Back then, I didn't have my custom page up. It may have been somebody else.
I've definitely been linked to your page through that site many times because I grew up like on that site like religiously.
Yeah, back before Facebook was really a big thing. Yeah,
exactly,
the forums and
exactly. Yeah, like they used to have like Ringside Fest in New York, and I would meet up with people from all over the world, like at this thing. So, and a couple wrestlers used to be people that did that. They're not really wrestlers anymore, but like, I did like something with them for Ringside Collectibles back in the day with this guy named Johnny Ova, used to be an independent wrestler, and like all this other stuff. And I remember seeing your name a couple times, but I've definitely seen your customs before, and they're definitely really awesome.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, it's a fun. I always did customs growing up, but because I have I've been collecting since I was like 2 or 3 years old, so over 30 years now, and I've collected some of the rarest and most unique in all figure lines. So I have one hell of a collection, proudly to say. But over the pandemics, when I started to take customs more seriously, when I had more time and less time on the road, so I started to really put more time into that, and I recently created an Instagram page for it. As my name says there, the Insta_Classic_Customs. And what I try to do is something unique that not very many, there are a lot of customizers out there. I'm not the only one for sure. And there's other people that do similar to what I do, but I try to take wrestling parts and make focus on doing movie characters, cartoon characters. And sometimes I'll do like fantasy attires for like Macho Man Randy Savage or Ultimate Warrior, but I try to do different because everybody does that. So I'm like, what can I do to stand out? Just like, as you know, in the wrestling world, like to pick, how do you stand out, right? You have to have a good gimmick, unique attire. So I think I have that same mentality when I make custom. So I try to make stuff nobody's ever done before, or it's really fun. Honestly, it's a good thing to see your work culminate at the end of it, and to see people like it too. So like, for example, here, like the first one I came out that I pulled out of my bag is here a custom Buzz Lightyear.
Get out of here.
And
wow,
that's a cool Buzz.
Thank you. This is made using a wrestling figure. It's Warlord Hasbro body, IRS's head, and the rest is custom made with clay or with other parts, and unfortunately.
Dude, that is so cool. That's the first time I've seen that one. That's a straight up Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
So it's like, a wrestling Buzz Lightyear. That's so cool. Who else do you have?
My favorite was Harry and Lloyd, Dumb and Dumber.
Harry and Lloyd, that one's great.
I'm very proud of those two. They're in here for sure. I mean, last time, maybe Donnie and Lance, maybe you've seen this, but to show the rest here is like a Thanos, and this is using,
very cool.
I don't know. The Hasbros is what I really grew up. I started with, even though I started with the LGNs too, but it was the Hasbros that really got me going. So I like to use the Hasbro parts to make them. But Vecna from Stranger Things, some of you guys saw it a few weeks ago, the little tangled up. But
wow, that's awesome.
And like
super cool.
Like you get the idea. I try to make. Oh, there's so many here. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I mean, I still make wrestling ones too. Thanks. Like here's Jim Carrey's The Riddler. So
it's amazing.
Wow, man,
amazing.
Cool.
So what figure did you use for that though?
For the Riddler?
Yeah.
Marty Jannetty's body, Rick Martel's head, and the rest is molded.
Dude, that's so awesome, man. That's so cool.
Ronald McDonald. I used Doink the Clown's head for that.
Oh, dude, that one's so cool.
And what the guys were talking about before, I mean, where I have here's only Harry. I'm trying to find Lloyd, but so Lloyd and Harry from Dumb and Dumber, there's all kinds.
Okay. I've got a challenge for you there, Josh. If you were to make an action figure for Mike, what parts would you use?
Oh boy.
It depends which line, but I would lean more towards the Mattel stuff because I could get the bigger torsos and at the top of my head, I think for a head scan, no, I would say for my first I was going to say Brody Lee, but then I'm like, no, but I could definitely think of it. Maybe Robert
Rhino, maybe a Rhino or something.
There is a Rhino head with a screaming head scan that can go with.
Yeah. And then vest.
Yeah, the vest would be, with accessories, that would be pretty easy to put together.
Yeah.
The colors you could always paint, worst case. But I'd have to think about that.
Undertaker legs? I don't know.
Yeah, like an Undertaker body. You could even put you could use a Braun Strowman, to get the bigger height. And it's definitely possible. Yeah, for sure.
I'd accessorize him with a monster truck, a big green monster truck. That's what I would do.
You guys are gassing me up like crazy. I'm loving it.
Yeah, we're putting you over.
Usually,
and the monster truck's gonna have like 6 coffins in the back. Fuck yeah, all green coffins.
Treatment is, in lack of a better word, my treatment usually is, you look too much like Seth Rollins, kid. Fuck off.
That little guy, come on, man.
Or it's more like, oh, so nice of you to jump ship, Wardlow.
Actually, I gotta say, Wardlow, the head scan could work, yeah.
I'll take it. So usually that's what I'm faced on the other side. So not that that's anybody's voice or anybody we know, but that's kind of. But I appreciate the neon green truck because I wish somebody would fund that shit because it would actually be really cool if it happened.
Billy's in the house. About fucking time you showed up.
Jesus Christ, I forgot all about it.
Damn.
All right, we got to do it all over.
Okay. All right, guys.
All right, start from the beginning.
Toys, comics, games, and entertainment. The Toy Time Machine Radio Show.
What did I miss?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Toy Time Machine Radio Show. This marks our 5th episode. I'd like to welcome you all. This is our special guest, Mike Orlando, and his wife, Allie Recks, and they're here to talk about wrestling. Oh, look who's in the chat. Oh, it's Billy. Thanks for showing up, Billy. 47 minutes fucking late.
I totally didn't. I totally didn't show up late. That is a wrong timestamp. I am never late. Nice to meet Mike. Nice to finally. Nice to meet Mike. Nice to meet Allie. The other guys can fuck right off.
Allie's making us a pasta right now. Thanks, Allie.
She just finished. She's here now. She's playing with a disco ball.
Awesome.
But
all right,
we need 5 plates.
Give me the Ace Ventura, deep breath in recap. All right. Come on, who's going?
Close my door like 50 times and explain it.
Yeah, so you guys been digging up the wrestling rumors and the news or what?
Yeah, we see it all and hear it all, but like we kind of keep our nose out of all that shit.
Yeah.
But we all see it from a distance, I guess you could say. You know?
Yeah, we're all just marking out over here, right?
You know,
I got Wyatt's coming back.
If you're a good wrestler, honestly, every good wrestler, I can tell you from the inside, is too. Nobody really knows what the hell is going on, but we're all kind of like, not my problem, not something I'm focusing on.
Yeah,
one question.
But it's like when you know something's there, but nobody wants to acknowledge it. It's kind of what's going on.
Yeah,
Mike, you don't have to name names, but like after Crazy Vince has left, and like ballpark, how many wrestlers from AEW are thinking really want to go back to WWE? If you could say.
He doesn't know.
You don't have to name names.
Okay, so I'll shoot from the hip right now.
Okay, he's shooting.
So we personally got invited back recently. And I thought we were on like horrible terms, them and I, because last time I had spoken to them, I had moved to Florida for them, and I got hurt on my own terms without them. And after verbally agreeing to everything. So as much as I want to be bitter and angry, like it was me, it was my fault. I got hurt. I shouldn't have taken indie booking when I was, kind of getting that opportunity. But that being said, from COVID and everything, I haven't heard from them in years. Triple H just took over again, and both my wife and I got an email at the same exact time.
That's insane.
Show up again, and it was awesome. And I'm not saying like, oh, we're guaranteed jobs. It's not what we're trying to say. Just the environment we were brought into was amazing, and it was a very, very cool experience. And if that's what they're offering there, it's exactly where we want to be. But that doesn't mean we aren't willing to take other places. Like that's, other places great already. We knew that. The news already reports AEW is awesome. Like we know that. WWE was the forbidden person we can't talk about. But now that place is just as good and treats you just as good as the other place. And it just was super welcoming. So I guess that's a shoot, but at the same time, it's just reality. And it's really cool to be in this position.
I've heard that Tony's like super cool, to work, like super enthusiastic to work with too,
Yeah. Well, that environment that he created there is amazing. There's no worries. There's no judging. It's almost like going into a Planet Fitness without being Planet Fitness. It's like everybody is there on the same page. And I mean that. Like, it's just, you all get it when you're there. WWE was antichrist to that. It was like, no. If you look at that guy the wrong way, you're not an extra anymore tonight. That's just the reality of what happened. Now it isn't like that at all. And that's kind of what Tony created at AEW, I feel. And I think it's really cool to see it at WWE now. Just being a comfort thing for me and my wife, like going there. Again, like we had no promises, no guarantees, but the experience we had was just very positive, which you never hear from when people talk about that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I'm sure you've heard the buzz about, everyone was wondering where Wyndham was going or, Bray was going. And, now they're saying that he might have signed officially with, back with WWE, but I don't know what's your take on it or if you can talk about it or.
Both my wife and me, you agree with me, right, Tim? The whole Bray Wyatt thing, the whole White Rabbit.
Yeah.
I'm 31, so I'm gonna go and beg to God that it's Paul London. I would love to be Paul London because I'm a fan of Paul London from like when I was like 18. So I would love to say it. And me and Paul London have had a million experiences on the Indies, and they've been awesome. And a fun fact, if you want to hear a little shoot, is one time we went to an arena show for it was XWA or something, right?
I think
XWA in New York. And he came out to White Rabbit, Paul London I'm talking about. And there was probably 2,000 people, maybe 1,500 people in attendance.
So many people.
And Paul London would not start the match until he walked to the crowd and shook everybody's hand in the crowd during his entrance. And he walked to each person and it was like a 10, 15-minute entrance of him just shaking everybody's hand in the crowd. And then went in the match and did some White Rabbit gimmick or whatever. And I remember just being like, I love this guy. And I remember being like a kid and loving Paul London. So anyway, me and Paul hit it off at the diner that night, just laughing about stuff. And I don't know personally because he won't answer any text messages or anything that's going on. So I don't know if it's him. Yeah. I would love it to be him, but my gut feeling tells me it's Bray Wyatt. And I may or may not have a friend on the inside that does graphic designing. I know he's not going to get in trouble for this either. He's been doing a lot of graphics lately, and they know nothing either until it's like literally about to air.
Yeah,
because like the font that they're using is the same font they use for Bray Wyatt stuff. Is what he told me.
Also, what they did with the Hangman thing.
I scanned that and I played the
letter spelled out
video.
demon as he was crossing them out at first. So I mean, that's another.
So he told me like he has no idea. It could literally change tomorrow, but the font, like the file name of the font, is the same font he used to use back.
I know. It's crazy.
It's also a good time to be a wrestling fan for that way, because now when the actual people that are in charge keep it from the other wrestlers because of how fast news leaks online and somebody can just take their phone and snap a photo. So now, for example, if it is Bray, I've heard that this is only from news sources online that they're keeping it from even most of the roster. They're only the top guns know about it,
bro. But even just the roster doesn't know, but like you talking extras like us, we don't know either. Like when CM Punk was coming back, like everybody was talking about it backstage, like he's coming back in Chicago. Not one person was like, I heard from the inside it actually is CM Punk. Not one person really knew. And at the same time, as a worker, like it keeps you in your lane. It's not your business. It's not your problem to worry about what's happening with that person. You worry about your problem. You worry about your and what you have to do. And I like that personally. I don't need everybody knowing what's going on tomorrow for me, and I don't really care what's happening for you tomorrow. As long as you have your bills paid, I have my bills paid. Good.
Yeah.
But it's also curiosity out of it for fun, right?
But that's the fun part about being a fan. Like if you're not a fan of this, get out.
Yeah.
Like walk away. Don't walk away. Run away.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's so different when fan side versus when you're inside, and when you're focusing on yourself, you can't stop and smell the roses for everybody.
No, you can't. But at the same time, like you could look around and kind of see what you accomplished around that. So like Sonny Kiss, like they trained me and my wife all the time. So like when I see Sonny killing it, it's like, okay, cool. This all makes sense. But Sonny doesn't message me and go, guess what? On Thursday or Wednesday on Dynamite, I'm actually winning tonight, because he's not a mark. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I'm just going to kind of tune in and realize like this is all working. And when you see that part of the business, you kind of disconnect with the whole bullshit behind everything. You cheer people on, you wait for your opportunity, and you don't really get mad at the nonsense anymore.
It's awesome, man. Like the stuff that he finds, like I don't know if you guys already talk collecting, like if you're a huge collector, like when you're a kid or now, or
Hey, what are you collecting?
Oh shit. Okay.
You guys didn't ask him that yet?
No, because you won't shut up.
We spoke about it earlier.
All right, here we go.
Holy shit.
Yeah, actually,
Ghostbusters. Whoa, dude.
Yeah.
That's no small fry, man. That's major leagues right there. Holy crap.
Toy Story.
Yeah, why don't you just open up a toy store with a wrestling ring in the middle?
Yeah, eventually we're gonna get there.
Holy crap.
Yeah, but you're
Donnie, look at this. Look at this toy collection.
Holy sweet sugary tits.
You can't see this on radio.
But it's wall to wall.
Yeah.
So what's really cool? This is the original Turbo Man from the actual movie.
What? Yo, Donnie, he's got a real Turbo Man from the movie.
Oh, I got the fake one. I got the
Funko one. Yeah, me too. I got the Funko one.
Right there, that's the real one.
No shit.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wait, what's the one next to it?
This is the Spanish talking one right here.
Oh
shit.
El Turbo knockoff one that.
Oh wow, dude, that's awesome, man.
So yeah,
where are you picking this shit up? Like, you got a huge collection. Is this like Flea markets? Where are you getting this stuff from?
This is like where I found you guys, honestly. I'm a flea market hunter. I go like and flip things and everything. So my brother, here we go. You get all sad for a second, but my brother passed away years ago. So he was a big toy collector. So when he passed away, I was like, okay, I want to finish his journey or whatever he wanted to accomplish.
Cool.
It doesn't end.
So a lot of these are his, like the 80s shit that I have are his. I just finished them off with like, the finishing touches and shit. But I try to flip now because it was a good collection to finish, but it's a very good financial thing to kind of flip at times.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, we all know, like, the game. You buy some shit, you find out what's worth, you end up flipping it or whatever, keeping it.
Yeah, you spend about $4,000 on a suit and then sell it for $1,500, eh? So.
No, man, I try to break even on shit, man.
2 of everything is my rule now. I have to buy 2 of them and sell 1.
Oh yeah.
But one good thing that I'm sure you guys get it too is you buy a lot, you keep what you want, you resell the rest, and you get your money back.
Best.
Sometimes you make it profit, and you end up like you paid nothing for what the thing you wanted in the lot.
That's the best way to do it.
I don't know. I got a old bat.
Oh, I love it. I love that Batman mask, the Michael Keaton mask that you're holding up. So nice.
Yeah, I don't know if he saw our pictures from Fanaticon or not. Probably.
Oh, I'm sure he saw them.
I did.
Sure. Yeah.
But when is Mike's and Allie's figure coming out? That's what we want to know.
Yeah, I'm down for that. I will buy that. I will buy that. You've got a LJN figure of yourself, I think, huh?
I do. I have a Hasbro, I think. Wait.
Oh yeah. I think I saw that custom Hasbro that someone made.
Custom, yeah.
Got a Hasbro.
No, the fucking toy collection doesn't end, man.
Josh knows he's part of the custom game.
Yeah, I like that.
I love it.
And then as far as figure goes, there's the other figure.
Oh yeah.
I have an actual Pop Funko that actually is me. It's pretty fucking cool. Actually.
Oh wait, yeah. Hey Lance, you should show your Pop Funko of you. I painted Lance Funko Pop. And I gave it to him there. I don't know where it is there.
I've seen the full size figure of Lance or whatever.
No, there's the Funko right next to it. I just did a photo shoot, like I said the other day, is like Jason out in the park there. So that was pretty fun.
Yeah, so you're talking about that on the last week's episode. I saw all the pictures from the photo shoot.
Yeah.
People will be able to go to the Toy Time Machine Facebook page the night of this broadcast and see those pictures. I'm gonna share them if that's okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you met this girl online, right?
Yeah. So it was this this horror chick, and she was into us. She was like, she's all into the horror stuff. She's done some photo shoots, and I was like, oh, I'd love to do a photo shoot, but like dressed up as Jason, And so I was like, wow, we did it. It was like this rainy day.
You did it. I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Fucking knew it. No.
We did the shoot.
No, man, that was fun. I just love like the whole cosplay thing, like just like being able. I like the spooky stuff too. I don't know, like
your build, your demeanor, the way that you carry yourself. The costume, you look like Jason. It's nuts. Like you look good. Like there's a guy that's just wearing a Jason costume, like somebody else wearing a Jason, and then there's you. You just look the part. It's awesome.
Well, it's all in how you like stand for the pictures and stuff and the motion. You gotta puff yourself up a bit, but no, man, it was fun, and like I got other stuff planned. I still got some stuff I haven't done yet. I like the spooky stuff. I don't know if Mike's into the horror stuff, but I like the horror.
Dude, that's my second coming, man. I got married on Halloween.
Oh yeah. So like I've made Freddy gloves here. That's why I was a big fan of what's his name that just left, like Malachi's whole thing there. I know he took a break, but he seemed like I love that whole gimmick, man. That was crazy.
Dude, I'm diehard and all that shit. I think I've seen a little bit. So you do like the glove work? Do you do like the masks and stuff too?
Yeah. So I got like a full Predator suit at home. I got a life size like Chucky. I got a life size like American Werewolf head like hanging on a wall. Oh man, I'll hit you up.
Okay,
I'll
that's
hit you up on it. I'll hit you up on Instagram. I don't know what social media you use much, hey Mike.
It's at the Big Orlando on everything.
Okay. Yeah.
And Josh is at Instant Classic _customs. Check him out.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Lance.
I've seen
And
his
Bats,
stuff on
where are you,
wrestling
man?
things. Yeah, for sure.
Thanks, Lance.
At
Billy Noah?
W Noah 1981.
Yeah, W Noah
1981.
1981. That's a good year. Fine year, my friend.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. You heard it all here. It was a great episode. Thank you all for joining us. And I'd like to thank our guests for being with us. Josh from Instant Classic _customs and Mike Orlando and his wife, Allie Recks. Check him out on AEW. And Billy, always nice having you in the show. And Donnie left us. I think he's in the bathroom.
He's taking a shit.
He's taking a shit.
Yeah.
If you like toys, comics, games, entertainment, all kinds of shizzit like that, tune into the Toy Time Machine every week. 97.7 FM, Outlaw Radio. Wednesdays at 10. Don't miss it. Also, we upload these videos to YouTube. Don't miss that if you want. Tune in anytime. They're there forever now. I just got a check for $84 today. It's awesome.
It only took 6 months.
It took 6 months. So it's working. Until next time, folks, keep the toy dream alive and keep your toys on the shelf. Peace.
Later.
The Toy Time Machine Radio Show.